Yeah, no, 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 no,
Hello counselor, today I got the shocker of my life when my teenage daughter of 15 years old told me she has a new boyfriend and they are both going out on a date. How can I address this topic of dating with my teens?
Teenagers and dating are very important and interesting topic to focus on.
Hello, today our topic of discussion is on teenagers and dating. The teenage dating scene can be very intense and full of drama, ranging from forming new exciting relationships to painful breakups and ruined friendship. Many parents do want their teenagers to mature and to embrace healthy and meaningful relationships. It is important for parents to help teenagers to navigate through all of their experiences as it relates to sex, to relationship, and to dating. For this to happen, parents must prepare their teenagers for the long-lasting relationship of commitment that leads on to marriage. A larger part of preparing our teenagers for this long-lasting relationship has to do with helping them to establish their identity in Christ and helping them to also understand their individuality, to have a sense of self and respect for other people around them, and not to be pressurized into going into relationship or doing certain things because their friends are doing it. Many teenagers believe that it is happening everywhere. Everyone is having sex and everyone is going into relationships and dating. But the reality is, not everyone is doing it. And so teenagers should be helped in building a sense of self. Also, teenagers should understand that going into a relationship doesn't have to be because they are bored or because they feel insecure or isolated or just because they want to fit in. Relationship goes beyond that, and parents are to explain and guide our teenagers as regards this. Sometimes the dating, the relationship, the flirtations that our teenagers have goes a long way to affect them positively or negatively. At times it can lower, raise, or maintain their standards of expectations from the opposite sex. Contemporary dating is radically different from what our parents went through when they were kids. Nowadays, sexual promiscuity is rampant, even amongst our Christian teens. And many of our young people receive little or no moral guidance from their parents. There's a lot of negative vices out there, like the binge drinking, date rape, date violence, teenage pregnancy, abortion, just to mention a few. In light of this, I recommend that teenagers between or below the ages of 18 should not be allowed to go on a one-on-one date. There is a lot of danger in this, and so parents should encourage their teenagers to engage more in group dates, whereby they share a lot of values, moral values, spiritual values with friends of the same mindset. And parents should also be involved in dates like this, getting to know the friends of their own teenagers and the families of these friends. Parents should be intentional and should be involved in forming meaningful relationship with their kids and their kids' friends. Nowadays, some parents may feel comfortable allowing their 18-year-old to go on a one-on-one date. Well, that is their call, and there is no one size fits it all. Understanding your teenager, understanding their emotion, and guiding them through, and again, knowing those they are going on those dates with is very, very important. However, in our country here and around in the Western world around us, 18-year-olds are considered adults. But in reality, most 18-year-olds are not well matured enough to control their own emotion and to have good moral judgment in dating and relationship. And so, parents still need to guide these kids. They still need to give them the necessary parental principles that would help them in developing a sense of self and in grooming discipline and self-control. I recommend that parents sit with their teens, draw out a map that would guide them in relationships. Also, parents should inculcate certain discipline and values that we know as the family values. They should inculcate it in every of their kids and allow these kids to embrace these family values. Upholding family values matters a lot. For some family, they could decide that their kids or their teenagers would not go on any dates until they're 18 years or above. Whatever family values you've drawn out with your kids, guide your teenagers lovingly, show them kindness, show them compassion, and be patient with them so that you can communicate well with them and allow them to embrace all these values. Also, parents should not shut their teens up. Learn to listen to their own perspective. Learn to see things from their own views once in a while. Again, I encourage parents to be intentional and to set boundaries to help their kids or their teenagers to set healthy boundaries as it relates to dating, to relationship, and every other issues around this. Setting of healthy boundaries help these kids to have a sense of self-identity, and it helps them not to cross the limits and to have that sense of respect for self and dignity. Also, it is very important to note this. Parents should encourage sexual purity. Parents should encourage sexual purity. Total abstinence from sex until marriage is encouraged. And so, at this point, I want to encourage every parent to be patient with their teens, to listen to them, not to shut them up. Get to know your teens' friends. Learn more about your teens' emotion. Be open to their own perspective. Set healthy boundaries. Help them, guide them in making the right choices. I leave us with this. Every choices that we make or every choice that we make in life has its own consequence. Every choice that we make in life has its own consequence. So what choice are you making as a parent? What choices are you making as a teenager? Are you making the right choices that will move your life forward, that will affect your future positively? We need to check this, and I just want to encourage us to keep shining our light even in the darkness around us. Thank you for watching this.